At Subaru, one of the largest Subaru showrooms in the world, and the only one powered entirely by the sun. Today we have our sales operations manager, Corey Warren, and he's going to be talking about the all-new WRX and comparing it with the all-new STI.
Alright, so one of the most common questions we get with customers is, do I need a WRX or do I need an STI? And sometimes this is a problem because they can't really decide which way they need to go. So the whole point of this video is to kind of give us an answer of what you really need to focus on, and not maybe as much as what has changed in the cars. But we'll go over a little bit at the same time. So the very first thing we'll start with is the new 2015 WRX. And so this, we kind of brag, is your ultimate daily driver sports car. You don't have to park it in the garage when it snows. When your friends need to go out somewhere, you need to pick up somebody from the airport. You can fit everybody in it. You can put everything in the trunk as well, drive it through all 4 seasons of the year. The big thing that makes it a great daily driver, even than it ever was before, is the fact of its new engine and new transmission. We're going from 19 miles per gallon city and 25 highway on the old 2.5 liter to 21 city and 28 highway with the new 2 liter using that new 6-speed manual transmission. So all that adds into the fact that the fuel economy is your daily driver. If you're going to drive this 15,000, 20,000 miles per year, this is where this is really going to come into play for you. Comparing it to an STI, people go, what's my big difference? What's going to matter? Well, if we compare equal trim levels, we're talking about an $8,000 swing. And that's a lot of money no matter who you are. So the question is, what are you really getting for $8 grand that makes the difference to you? Well, let's talk about that daily driver aspect first. We're going from 21 city, 28 highway on a WRX to 17 city and 23 highway on an STI. Now it sounds like a huge drop, and it is, but it comes down for many reasons. This isn't mainly really built to be your ultimate daily driver. It can be, but this is really built for the true enthusiast who does the autocrosses, does the occasional road course, full track session on the weekend, who has to have everything and can't compromise for nothing. So what does $8 grand give you? Well, it gives you an insanely heavy-duty 6-speed transmission that you can't see, but you can feel when you drive. You're going to get a rear, front, and center limited slip differential. And if you don't know what that means, then the WRX is probably the best value for you. But if you're a true track enthusiast and car nut, you have to have those things. The next big thing, and we're talking about, are the brakes on this car. We have new brakes on the WRX that are larger, but the STI is the king with its Brembo brake system and Super ABS. So when it comes to maintenance, you have to imagine that when these brakes go, this brake job is almost double the cost of what it would be on the WRX. But if you have to have every brake, you have to be able to stop as quick as you can on the dive and have the shortest distance for any track session or long and extended use of this car. There's no compromise for the system. The next thing also comes to the size of the wheels and the tires. We're talking 18-inch wheels versus 17 on the WRX. It's also a wider wheel. It's a wider tire as well in the STI. And all that gives you the superior handling and extra grip that you would need if you're trying to push it to every bit of your limit at the same time. There's also fancy stuff with the driver control center differential in an STI that you don't have in a WRX. Most people just get in the car and drive it and forget it. The STI is for that person who's really picky about how that car must turn, how much understeer, how much oversteer they want to have at the same time. So in the end, all the question comes down to what you really need in a car. Do you need the daily driver that's fun to drive on the back roads, the occasional autocross that takes you and your friends and family to where you need to go and still get good fuel economy on a car that starts under $30,000? Or do you have to have the road course king that compromises nothing, that will get you every extra foot you need for braking distance, and every 10th of a second you get 0 to 60? That car's the STI. So for the extra $8 grand, if you value all those things, you buy the STI. If you're going to daily drive it, and that's your true purpose, the WRX is truly your choice.